Women over 50 massage castor oil into their skin for weeks, feeling a smoother surface, yet wondering why firmness, elasticity, and real wrinkle repair never truly appear. Castor oil deeply hydrates, but it cannot wake up silent collagen on its own. When blended with frankincense, something changes. Hydration meets activation, moisture meets oxygen, and fibroblast cells finally receive the signal to rebuild. That is when softness turns into real renewal. As we age, the challenge is not just dryness or thinning skin, but a quiet loss of response. The skin still absorbs moisture, yet it cannot activate repair without biological stimulation. That is why castor oil alone, even though deeply hydrating, rarely brings firmness or wrinkle renewal. It prepares the skin, but it cannot awaken what lies beneath. When combined with frankincense, however, something remarkable happens. Moisture is not only sealed in, it becomes guided, energized, and delivered where repair is needed most. Oxygen flow improves, fibroblast cells begin to listen again, and collagen slowly regains its ability to rebuild. I'm Dr. Eliza Hart, a board-certified obstetrician and gynecologist with over 15 years of clinical experience, helping women understand how hormones, circulation, and collagen behave after 50. My mission is to help you care for your skin, not through stronger products, but through wiser combinations. Before we begin, please subscribe, comment your country to show how far this message is reaching, and help me reach 50,000 subscribers. Stay until the end. There's a small insight that may change your skincare journey. Now let's begin. 1. Why castor oil alone doesn't rebuild collagen after 50. When women begin using castor oil, they often describe a comforting change on the surface of the skin. It feels softer, more supple, and even slightly plumper. It is understandable why so many women trust it. Castor oil is rich in ricinoleic acid, a powerful humectant that draws moisture into the skin and helps preserve it. Yet despite this initial improvement, many quietly observe that deeper changes like firmness, structure, and wrinkle repair do not truly appear. The reason is not because castor oil is ineffective. It is because by itself, castor oil works only on one layer of the skin's biology, hydration. After menopause, the skin's challenge is not only dryness, it is biological silence. Fibroblast cells, which once actively rebuilt collagen and elastin, no longer receive sufficient microcirculation oxygen supply or hormonal support to continue their function. The skin may feel moisturized, but without activation, the cells responsible for structural repair remain dormant. Castor oil comforts the surface, but it does not send the signal that the skin needs to begin healing from within. To understand this better, imagine the skin as a garden. Castor oil provides the water, protecting and softening the soil. But water alone will not make flowers grow. The seeds, our fibroblast cells, need warmth, nutrients, movement, and above all, an awakening signal to know it is time to grow again. This is why so many women notice that while their skin feels nourished, it still looks tired, thin, and lacking in elasticity. Moisture alone cannot recreate what time hormonal shifts and declining circulation have taken away. In fact, the more mature the skin becomes, the more it relies on stimulation and biological guidance, rather than hydration alone. This is also why many women experience improvement in texture, yet little change in firmness, lift, or density. That is why some women say their skin feels soft, but still sagging, or moisturized, yet unchanged. They are not wrong. Hydration without activation brings comfort but not transformation. The real key lies not in simply adding more moisture, but in teaching the skin to respond again. Mature skin does not need to be overwhelmed with heavy products, it needs to be reminded how to function. And that is where the science becomes more encouraging. If castor oil prepares the environment, what gently wakes it up? What helps fibroblasts remember their biological purpose? The answer lies not in stronger products, but in smarter combinations. When moisture meets activation, the possibility of true renewal begins to unfold. 2. The real reason. Collagen declines not aging, but poor microcirculation. Many women believe that collagen fades simply because of age, but what truly changes after menopause is circulation. At around the age of 50, declining estrogen leads to a quiet but significant shift in the skin's internal environment. Blood vessels that once freely carried oxygen and nutrients to fibroblast cells begin to narrow, becoming less flexible, less responsive, and less able to nourish the deeper layers of the skin. This is when fine lines deepen, the skin begins to feel thinner and colder, and healing from even the smallest damage becomes noticeably slower. It is not that collagen disappears. It loses its energy source, its oxygen, and its signal to repair. Healthy collagen does not depend only on hydration. It depends on movement, warmth, and nourishment beneath the surface. Fibroblast cells responsible for producing collagen and elastin require oxygen to remain active. Without proper oxygen flow, these cells become sluggish, losing their ability to rebuild and reorganize collagen fibers. This is why many women describe their skin not only as dry, but as lifeless, no longer glowing, no longer responsive, almost as if it has fallen asleep. The skin does not lack moisture, it lacks activity. One of the earliest and most telling signs of declining microcirculation is that the skin begins to feel cool to the touch, especially around the cheeks and jawline. It may also bruise more easily, take longer to heal after breakouts, or appear dull even when moisturized. These are not just cosmetic observations, they are physiological signals that the skin's internal network is slowing down. When warmth, color, and radiance begin to fade, hydration alone cannot bring them back. The skin needs activation, not just moisture. This is why topical creams, serums, or oils often look promising at first, but fail to create structural change. They may deliver hydration, protection, and comfort, but they cannot transform without movement beneath the surface. True renewal requires improved oxygen delivery, restored cellular metabolism, and gentle stimulation that tells the skin it is time to begin repairing again. For mature skin, transformation is not about forcing change, it is about guiding it. When microcirculation begins to improve, even in small ways, the skin starts to feel different before it looks different. It feels warmer, more awake, more alive. And that is the body's first quiet sign that collagen is ready to return to work. Now, if circulation is the missing link, how can we gently bring it back without irritation, without force, and without overwhelming mature skin? 3. Frankincense oil, the cellular awakener that castor oil needs. For years, frankincense oil has been quietly praised for its calming and aromatic qualities, yet few women truly understand its deeper biological power, especially for skin after menopause. Unlike castor oil, which primarily hydrates and protects the surface, frankincense works on a different level. It does not simply sit on the skin, it communicates with it. Its key compounds, boswellic acids, apinine, and terpenes support gentle microcirculation, improve oxygen delivery, and help create an environment where fibroblast cells begin to show signs of activity again. In simple terms, frankincense does what castor oil alone cannot do. It helps reawaken silent collagen. When estrogen declines, fibroblasts begin to lose their responsiveness, much like a radio that has signal but no clarity. Frankincense provides that missing clarity. It does not artificially stimulate the skin like harsh active ingredients. Instead, it helps restore the skin's ability to receive biological signals that guide repair, renewal, and collagen rebuilding. It supports cellular calm while encouraging cellular function, which is especially important for mature skin that is often sensitive, thin, and easily overwhelmed. Perhaps one of its most important roles is protecting collagen from breakdown. Scientific observations show that frankincense may help reduce the activity of MMP1 enzymes. These are enzymes that naturally increase after menopause and slowly degrade collagen fibers, thinning the skin over time. When these enzymes are moderated, collagen has a better opportunity to stay organized, structured, and resilient. Women often describe the first noticeable change not as something they see, but something they feel, a subtle warmth, a gentle fullness, a quiet sense that the skin is responding rather than simply absorbing. And that moment is meaningful not because it looks different, but because it behaves differently. The skin begins to feel alive again. If you now believe that hydration prepares the skin, but activation awakens it quietly, comment 1 below. And if you have been using castor oil alone and finally understand why the deeper changes never appeared, comment 0. Your experience matters because it tells your skin's story. Yet frankincense is not meant to work alone, just as castor oil was never meant to work alone. When moisture from castor meets activation from frankincense, hydration finally has direction and nourishment finally has purpose. Mature skin does not need to be pushed, it needs to be guided. So if castor oil prepares the environment and frankincense provides the awakening signal, what happens when these two are finally brought together in harmony? 4. When castor oil meets frankincense, the biological transformation. When castor oil and frankincense are used separately, each supports the skin in meaningful yet incomplete ways. Castor oil acts as a nurturing base, softening the outer layer, improving moisture retention, and creating a barrier that protects the skin from dryness and environmental stress. Frankincense, on the other hand, helps guide the skin inward, gently supporting microcirculation, oxygen delivery, and the biological signaling needed to awaken fibroblast cells. But when these oils are blended correctly and applied at the right moment, something deeper begins to happen. Not a surface reaction, but a biological transformation. Moisture alone cannot rebuild, and activation alone cannot renew. True repair requires both hydration and signaling, both nourishment and communication. Castor oil prepares the canvas. Frankincense inspires it to respond. When castor oil locks in moisture and warmth, and frankincense supports oxygen flow and cellular activation, fibroblast cells, the architects of collagen, begin to shift from passive observation to active participation. Instead of sitting quietly beneath the surface, they start receiving what they have been missing: moisture, warmth, oxygen, and the biological nudge to begin rebuilding. This deep interaction often begins not with a dramatic change, but with a subtle whisper. Women describe it as a quiet warmth, a feeling of gentle fullness beneath the skin, not irritation or redness, but a sense of awakening. The skin feels more alive than before, responsive rather than passive, supported rather than coated. And that difference is meaningful, because skin that begins to feel alive has already started to heal. Imagine it this way: castor oil places the seed in hydrated, protected soil, but frankincense delivers the sunlight and warmth required for growth. Neither oil replaces collagen. They instead help restore the environment where collagen naturally knows how to rebuild itself. This approach is not about forcing youthfulness, but about guiding the skin back to function in a way that feels calm, supported, and biologically true. When applied correctly, this blend also slows down collagenase, the enzyme that slowly weakens collagen fibers during menopause. And this is where a profound shift happens. Instead of relying on heavy products, temporary fillers, or surface-level masking, we begin working with the skin, not against it. When skin responds from within, its changes feel different, steadier, calmer, more natural, and more lasting. But even when this blend is formed correctly, timing matters. The skin repairs itself on a schedule, not when we want it to, but when biology is ready. So when is the truly golden moment to apply this oil blend for deeper collagen renewal? 5. The golden timing window when collagen activation actually happens. Even when the right oils are combined and the skin begins to show signs of awakening, one more element determines whether real transformation will take place: timing. The skin does not repair itself randomly, nor does it respond deeply just because nutrients are present. Every biological process in our body, including collagen renewal, follows the body's internal clock. After menopause, this clock becomes even more important because hormonal rhythms, sleep quality, and cellular regeneration become closely linked. That is why understanding when to nourish the skin is just as important as understanding what to nourish it with. Throughout the day, the skin is in defense mode, protecting itself from sunlight pollution, temperature changes stress, and external irritants. Energy is directed towards shielding rather than healing. During these hours, even high-quality serums or oils are more likely to sit on the surface offering hydration, but not deep cellular support. However, as evening arrives, the skin gradually shifts into a very different state. Between approximately 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., the body enters what researchers call the repair window, when cellular recovery becomes more active than cellular protection. During this window, melatonin levels rise, signaling the body to begin tissue repair. Growth hormone, which naturally declines with age but still plays a crucial role in cellular renewal, is released in small but meaningful pulses. Blood flow increases in the deeper layers of the skin, providing oxygen and nutrients to fibroblast cells, which are now more receptive to stimulation. This is when collagen synthesis becomes most efficient, not because of what is applied to the skin, but because the body itself has shifted into healing mode. When the castor oil and frankincense blend is applied about 45 to 60 minutes before bedtime, it has time to gently absorb, warm the skin, and create the ideal environment for oxygen flow, moisture retention, and cellular activation. By the time the body begins its natural repair cycle, fibroblast cells are already hydrated, oxygenated, and biologically prepared to respond. Women often notice that the skin feels different the next morning, not simply softer, but more supported, balanced, and receptive. This timing does not force collagen production, it aligns with it. Instead of pushing the skin to change, it allows the skin to do what it naturally knows how to do, rebuild when it is ready. When biology and timing work together, results feel deeper, calmer, and more authentic. Now that we understand when the blend works best, the next question becomes how to mix it correctly so the skin receives just enough support, but never too much. 6. The correct ratio formula and how to use it properly. When it comes to castor oil and frankincense, many women believe that using more will bring faster results. But with mature, hormone-sensitive skin, effectiveness comes from precision balance and biological harmony, not from heavy application. Skin after 50 becomes thinner, drier, more fragile, and less tolerant of concentrated essential oils. That is why the correct ratio matters not only for results, but for safety, comfort, and long-term skin integrity. The foundational blend is simple and intentionally gentle. 2 teaspoons of castor oil as the base combined with 3 to 5 drops of frankincense essential oil. Castor oil acts as a carrier rich in oleic acid, which helps maintain hydration, protect the lipid barrier, and support moisture retention across the dermal layers. Frankincense, when properly diluted, gently enhances microcirculation, supports oxygen delivery, preserves elastine stability, and moderates the enzyme activity that breaks down collagen during menopause. Using more than 5 drops does not increase effectiveness. Instead, it raises the chance of dryness irritation or lipid disruption in the skin barrier. Before application, warm the mixture slightly by rubbing it between your palms, not to heat it, but to gently activate its lipid flow and enhance absorption. Apply with slow upward motions across key collagen-sensitive areas, jawline, cheeks, nasolabial folds, forehead, and neck. These regions experience the greatest decline in fibroblast activity after 50, leading to sagging, thinning, and loss of elasticity. A light 3-minute massage is enough to support lymphatic drainage and improve absorption without stretching delicate tissue. Use the blend 3 to 4 nights per week, never every night. Mature skin needs time to absorb, respond, and regulate. Overuse can overwhelm the lipid barrier or trigger sensitivity, reducing the skin's responsiveness rather than supporting it. Give the skin time to rest, repair, and integrate the nourishment naturally. Perform a patch test before first use, especially for women with sensitive, reactive, or hormone-influenced skin conditions. Avoid applying on inflamed acne, rosacea, flare-ups, open wounds, or irritated skin. Women with hormone-dependent conditions, chronic illnesses, or those undergoing medical treatments should consult a healthcare professional before using essential oils. Mature skin does not need aggressive stimulation. It needs gentle guidance. When hydration from castor oil is paired with cellular signaling from frankincense in the correct ratio and timing, the skin begins to function, not just feel differently. But the true transformation is not in the first application. It is in what happens slowly, quietly, and consistently over time. 7. The long-term benefits when used consistently. The true transformation of mature skin does not occur on the first night, nor even within the first week of using the castor and frankincense blend. Instead, it unfolds slowly, quietly, and gradually, as the skin begins to remember what it once knew how to do: repair, organize, and renew from within. When used consistently, 3 to 4 nights per week, the skin begins to shift from surface hydration to structural support, from temporary softness to deeper restoration. During the first 2 weeks, the most noticeable change is often a sense of comfort. The skin no longer feels tight or dry in the morning, and fine lines appear less pronounced when the skin is rested. But the real shift happens beneath the surface, where moisture retention improves, microcirculation returns slowly, and fibroblast cells gradually receive the hydration and oxygen they need to awaken. At this stage, changes may not be dramatic, but they are meaningful because they represent the beginning of cellular responsiveness, not just surface improvement. Around weeks 3 to 4, many women describe a subtle warmth in areas like the cheeks, forehead, and jawline. This gentle warmth is not irritation. It is a sign of renewed blood flow, oxygen, nutrients, and collagen-building amino acids starting to move through the dermal layers again. When fibroblasts receive consistent nourishment and improved signaling, they begin restructuring collagen fibers more efficiently, leading to improved firmness, elasticity, and better skin tone. The skin begins to feel supported rather than merely coated. By weeks 5 to 6, visible changes start to appear more clearly. Fine lines around the eyes and mouth begin to soften. The skin feels fuller, less fragile, and more resilient. The texture becomes smoother, and there is a quiet brightness, not a cosmetic glow, but a biological one. It is the look of skin that is functioning, not just being covered. Some women describe this stage as, "My skin finally feels alive again," not because it looks younger, but because it looks well. And then a subtle emotional change often appears, one that skincare alone cannot provide. The mirror becomes less harsh. The skin feels less like something to fix and more like something to care for. Women say, "I feel more present in my skin," and that is an important sign, not of perfection, but of reconnection. This is not about reversing age. It is about restoring the biology that time simply slowed down. When hydration, oxygen, warmth, and activation work together, the skin does not just improve, it remembers. Now, with all the science and guidance in place, we return to the deeper message behind this journey. Your skin is not failing, it is waiting to be reactivated. Castor oil softens and prepares. Frankincense awakens and guides, and together they help mature skin move from moisture to deeper biological support. Collagen is not lost after 50. It becomes quiet, waiting for moisture, oxygen, and warmth to be invited back to life. Renewal is not instant or dramatic. It is gradual, calm, and built through repeated decisions to care for your skin with wisdom instead of panic. So begin gently. Support your skin rather than trying to fight it. Give it a smarter routine instead of heavier layers, and allow this blend used regularly to create a healthier environment for repair. If this video has helped you understand your skin and you would like to support this work, you can consider donating to help this channel grow. It makes a difference and keeps these lessons free for other women. If you found value here, please like, share, and subscribe. Your engagement helps this message reach more women who need it. Thank you for watching and for choosing to nourish the skin you live in.